Welcome to the IIDC Museo. My name is Lawrence Poole, and I'm the chief storyteller. As you move up and down these halls, I'll introduce us. Instituto Internacional de Desarrollo Creativo of Costa Rica, and our mission to relate the spiritual story of the first Americans, the Jaguar Kings and Queens of Mexico and Central America. In fact, the history of America cannot be told without giving proper reverence to the Olmec sorcerer scientists who decoded nature's secrets more than 3,000 years ago. The Jaguar Kings experienced the world as energy and light, and detailed how the Creator is omnipresent as the forces in nature. As such, their science of teophysics is a bridge between the modern world's quantum physics and personal metaphysics. Their science is introducing initiates to the creating intelligence that is animating life itself. Those ancient leaders held that nature's laws were the Creator's intent, and so they founded a kingdom based on theocratic democracy. They invited people who had been lost in the jungle since the times of the legendary flood to embody altruistic self-interest as the human expression of God's law. The Jaguar Kings empowered themselves by empowering others in a process maintained for hundreds of years by the cult of Quetzalcoatl. By the time of the conquest, some 2,000 years after the Jaguar Kings ascended from Earth, the leadership school at Teotihuacan, the city where men become God, was graduating thousands of what can best be called sorcerer scientists. I use the story of the Jaguar Kings as a metaphor in my training programs, so I'd like you to know a little bit more about them. But there are other good reasons to know about their way of seeing the world. Unlike people today, America's patriarchs did not base their lives on beliefs or disbeliefs, nor did they speculate about the existence of an invisible God somewhere beyond human reason. They flourished for centuries in a social order that championed doings and not doings, designed to embody the indivisible Spirit of God, His creative intent in daily life. I tell springboard stories about them to show how they used nature's adaptive strategies. Millennia ago, they transformed a loose-knit group of villages into an amazing multicultural kingdom that influenced all of continental America. The Jaguar Kings and Queens learned to think beyond the blind morality of rights and wrongs. Rather, they saw morality as part of a larger concept tied to a person's emotional age. To them, beliefs and dreams were very personal, and because they guide our lives, they were subject to maturity, renewal, and spiritual growth. America's first leaders strived for inner and outer harmony, for example, by considering the impact of their decisions on 7 generations that would follow them. They honored a supreme intelligence, calling on a great spirit, but describing Teo, the energy animating nature. The sorcerer scientists did not relate to the planet as a resource to be exploited, but rather as a living entity, our Earth Mother, or Pachamama, the maintainer of life. According to them, this world is Teo, God manifest. They saw how the creative spirit, or intelligence, is indivisible from nature as the energy contained by the fundamental forces. As energy is in motion, plus and minus emotion are correspondences for the masculine and feminine forces, and thus they are polarities needed to create. As such, they are complementary and not opposite, and they define energy as a waveform. In that vein, men and women are Teo's published image. Man cannot therefore have superiority over woman, nor any other being for that matter, as there is only one energy, Teo, and that Creator is manifest as all of creation. The ancients held that both men and women could therefore connect with the creative spirit by embodying the Creator's intent into their life here on earth. The self-transformation that allows for this is in fact, for lack of a better term, called sorcery. They did not see leadership as being a chief among men, but understood how all are servants of the one, and so leaders are they who best embody that spirit. Those sorcerer scientists held in highest honor the duty to balance the needs of the collective with the needs of the individual. They honored ideas like generosity to each other and to strangers, and because private property was not a concept in their world, they saw personal power as sharing what you have. All of life was sacred to them, and the family unit was the center of importance. They saw how Creator's intent is that women, as sisters and daughters of Earth Mother, be revered as givers of life. Women therefore had a vote in all matters of society, even in times of war. As they nurtured children until they entered their teens, they did not hunt. Men hunted, but asked forgiveness from the animals they hunted before killing them. Men and women shared most other tasks like planting, harvesting, gathering, and even preparing food. Both could learn trades like artisanship, healing, teaching, dealing, and leading. People loved children more than anything else, and if a child died, the whole village mourned the lost for 1 year. Men, therefore, did not divorce women with children, nor did they abandon them. When children were not involved, men and women could connect or disconnect at will. Largely, the Jaguar Kings of America were idealists with a theocentric worldview, whose kingdom was the source for travelers' tales of paradise on earth. They left this earth between 600 and 400 BC in a transmigration to other realms. The Maya, Azteca, and Inca emerged many hundreds of years later and witnessed what their ancestors knew about the new arrivals. Nothing could have prepared them. The conquering Europeans were egocentric, with a somewhat religious but a very stern and militaristic worldview. The Europeans were also materialists and rather barbaric in their way of being. They were largely unwashed and often diseased. As they put the directives of their tribal leaders above Creator's intent, and that more than anything else, told the Jaguar Kings and Queens that it was the beginning of the end. To know more about the Jaguar Kings, read thejungletimes.com. Enjoy the rest of your visit.
Si vous voulez être roi, vous devez me tuer. Si vous voulez être roi, vous devez me tuer.